Hey friends, once again we're experimenting with leftover styrofoam. Just look at this pile. How much do you think it'll shrink with only half a cup of acetone? Drop your guess in the comments and let's find out together. Let's get started. The mass has become thick and sticky. It's dissolving slowly now, but still dissolving. So those who guessed it would work, you still have a chance to be right. Maybe the volume just won't fit. This one also doesn't dissolve well anymore. Honestly, I don't even want to keep going. It's barely melting. It would take hours to completely break down. Sure, I could push through and suffer with it, but it's already become such a thick and stubborn mass. It dries immediately. Watch. The plastic forms instantly, then it evaporates and wrinkles appear. It's interesting how this mass folds. It already looks aged and dried. But this is extremely strong glue, truly powerful. Let's test it again. Let's glue two sticks together. This might even be better than regular carpenter's glue. Right now, I have a thick mixture and I'll apply it with a slight offset. We'll leave them for an hour or two. Friends, almost everything fit in. Just a little bit didn't. So we can say both sides were right. Those who said yes and those who said no. We ended up with a dense mass that can be used to seal things tightly and securely. It's strong, long-lasting, and reliable. For example, this mixture has been sitting in the solvent for over a month, and nothing has happened to it. It's a slightly different mix, but still, if you're interested, full videos of what I've done with styrofoam are in the description. Visit the channel and subscribe. What happens after an hour? How fast does it dry by morning? Let's take a closer look. The wood fibers were sealed up. Yeah, the glue works well. Here we have this kind of crust forming on top. I think it won't let air out. You can see the crust on top. It won't allow oxygen through. And this liquid plastic glue inside stays soft. Because you see, there's a kind of film here. It can be stored like this completely. I don't know, what do you think? Can it be stored or not? Write your opinion. I hope the video was interesting and useful to you. If so, thumbs up, leave a comment, and see you next time. Bye bye. Hey friends, once again we're experimenting with leftover styrofoam. Just look at this pile. How much do you think it'll shrink with only half a cup of acetone? Drop your guess in the comments and let's find out together. Let's get started. The mass has become thick and sticky. It's dissolving slowly now, but still dissolving. So those who guessed it would work, you still have a chance to be right. Maybe the volume just won't fit. This one also doesn't dissolve well anymore. Honestly, I don't even want to keep going. It's barely melting. It would take hours to completely break down. Sure, I could push through and suffer with it, but it's already become such a thick and stubborn mass. It dries immediately. Watch. The plastic forms instantly, then it evaporates and wrinkles appear. It's interesting how this mass folds. It already looks aged and dried. But this is extremely strong glue, truly powerful. Let's test it again. Let's glue 2 sticks together. This might even be better than regular carpenter's glue. Right now, I have a thick mixture and I'll apply it with a slight offset. We'll leave them for an hour or 2. Friends, almost everything fit in. Just a little bit didn't. So we can say both sides were right. Those who said yes and those who said no. We ended up with a dense mass that can be used to seal things tightly and securely. It's strong, long-lasting, and reliable. For example, this mixture has been sitting in the solvent for over a month, and nothing has happened to it. It's a slightly different mix, but still, if you're interested, full videos of what I've done with styrofoam are in the description. Visit the channel and subscribe. What happens after an hour? How fast does it dry by morning? Let's take a closer look. The wood fibers were sealed up. Yeah, the glue works well. Here we have this kind of crust forming on top. I think it won't let air out. You can see the crust on top. It won't allow oxygen through. And this liquid plastic glue inside stays soft. Because you see, there's a kind of film here. It can be stored like this completely. I don't know, what do you think? Can it be stored or not? Write your opinion. I hope the video was interesting and useful to you. If so, thumbs up, leave a comment, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Today we will make a great DIY project from this piece of metal. Its thickness is 3 millimeters. What will we get? Let's watch the video. Let's go. 25 by 45, the first piece. The second piece will be 25 and 1 millimeter will be cut off. Now we mark piece 245 by 60 and now we divide the piece in half. Friends, go off camera, I cut 2 strips 30 millimeters by 450 and 2 plates. Toast se cut 2 pieces 125 by 260. Also, on the large piece, which is 50 by 50, I marked the center and made a small cut for now. Later I will cut it completely. Now we take our piece, which is 460 by 500, and step back 20 millimeters from each corner. Once I'm making a ring, I installed the nut previously locking them with a bolt like this so they wouldn't move. Now we will weld them around like this. Made a cut and bent it at 90 degrees. Well, slightly less than 90 degrees. Off camera, I welded everything, cleaned it, made a cut, but not all the way through, leaving about 5 centimeters. Similarly on this side, now we place our lid on top.
I took these little hinges, I'll tack them.
Similarly, I did it on each side, tacked it. Now we'll make a marking from the edge, stepping back 4.5 centimeters, 45 millimeters from each edge. We'll step back 6 centimeters. We'll make markings every 6 centimeters, and then it will be centered. When we cut it, we'll make the cuts. Now I'm finishing the cuts. I made similar cuts on the other side. This is how I make these side pieces. Drilled a hole of 5, made an M6 thread. Now I take such a screw, screw it in, cut it and weld it.
And it turns out like this. Now we take it and put it on.
And also put on the second piece. Look, I bent this round piece. Now I will make 2 holes. That is, I have marked here and will position the hole. Inserted, put on 2 nuts of 10 and welded. Well, of course the legs still need to be made. I make the legs from a profile tube 15 by 15. Cut the size, cut it 40 centimeters, 300 millimeters.
Next is in the small crucible sit on it, the welding machine jumps in. I insert bolts of 8, weld them. And we got these 4 legs also marked and made a bracket hole with a step of 5 centimeters. Friends, we have ended up with an excellent portable grill that assembles and disassembles quickly, which you can always take with you for fishing, hunting or an outdoor picnic. The only thing left to do is to buy skewers of the right size and make a cover for the grill, huh?
Thanks for watching, like and subscribe. See you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe. See you soon. Thanks, more coming soon. Stay tuned. Watched it, like it, subscribe now.
Hey friends, a big hello to everyone. Today, we're going to work once again with leftover styrofoam. Let's see what we can create. I had some of this styrofoam left over from household appliances. I collected it in a bag and didn't throw it away. I want to experiment and show you the results. Today we'll work with different solvents, acetone, xylene, and in the end, we'll paint a table. So, let's go. To begin, we'll do a small experiment. What actually dissolves polystyrene and what doesn't. I have a few solvents. Technical acetone, regular acetone, xylene, and solvent, 646. We'll pour a little into separate containers. Some xylene, a bit of regular solvent, acetone, and technical acetone. Let's start with the xylene. Even with small pieces, there's a reaction. It melts everything. Just a small piece again. Now the regular solvent. The reaction is stronger and faster. It melts more quickly, acetone, even faster, and technical acetone. As you can see, there's no reaction at all, unfortunately. It doesn't melt or break down into atoms. Many people asked why I tried to melt polystyrene in acetone and it doesn't dissolve. As you can see, sometimes it's a fake or a technical type, unclear what it's even made for. It says on the label that it's only meant to be added to paint and varnish materials. Regular acetone, on the other hand, is used to thin nitro varnish, nitro paints, and nitro enamels, also for thinning paint. But as you can see, there is a difference. Let's set this acetone aside. Clearly, it's useless for us. Now let's prepare our 3 patients. I've made 3 small rectangular pieces, all about the same size. We'll test which one melts the fastest. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, we drop them in and watch which dissolves quicker. Acetone came in first. Next was the thinner, and last was the xylene. You can see a white residue here, while in this one there's barely any, just a bit of foam. Xylene also has a little foam, but no sediment at all. I want to say that acetone is good for this. If you're making some kind of glue, you can make it thick. In terms of viscosity, this looks like it would make a good glue. We'll try applying it to a porous surface later. I'll also now make a uniform substance using the solvent to see what happens, specifically with 646. It dissolves worse and worse. We'll leave it at this stage. This is the kind of uniform liquid mass we ended up with. I took a piece of foam block and marked it. Now we'll first apply acetone. Just like that, we'll spread it thickly using a stick. Tomorrow we'll test it. We'll leave it to dry, try to scrape it, pour water on it, and see what this substance is like, how it peels off, and how well it holds. But I think this is enough. On this side, we'll pour on solvent 646. We'll use xylene somewhere else, with wood and dye. And now we'll leave it to dry until tomorrow. We'll check on it then. I prepared a slightly larger container for the xylene, and we're also melting our polystyrene. It works really well. You can see how it dissolves the first pieces. Like magic. Then it starts to break down less effectively, but we'll keep going until we get the consistency we need. It has now turned into an opaque liquid. I won't add any more. I think this is enough. Now I'll take some universal tint and add a few drops of it in. This is the liquid we ended up with. I have this old table. It used to be completely black and was used by builders a long time ago, but I decided to restore it. I'll try applying our mixture and we'll see what comes out of it. It applies very well with a brush, at least. As you can see, I'm pouring it on thickly to soak into all the pores and cracks. We've covered the entire table. Now we leave it to dry. It was very interesting to coat the OSB and paving stones. Now we'll simply apply it and let it dry, then check it tomorrow. I didn't prime, clean, or remove any dust beforehand. Nothing. As you can see, there's even sand present. I think everyone, including myself, will find it interesting to see what happens with metal. Let's also apply our mixture to the metal. We'll cover it completely. It's neither cleaned nor degreased, just as it is. That's it. Let's leave it to dry. Friends, as you can see, the table has dried. It actually dried yesterday. We didn't even need to wait. More than 15 hours have likely passed, but it actually dried in just about 3 hours yesterday, probably because it was sitting in the sun. The surface turned out a bit rough, honestly. Well, I applied it by hand and ended up with a few uneven spots. The reason I did this was so it wouldn't sit outside exposed and instead be used just as a workbench. Now look at what happens with water. As you can see, the water rolls off. You can clearly see it, right? The water immediately rolls off and drains away, meaning the table is now protected from moisture. So for wood, this protective coating is very effective. The water stays on the surface and doesn't get absorbed. It simply rolls off. The best part is you won't get splinters anymore, since these are glued parts. They were hard to sand properly because the wood fibers point in different directions. You could even get a splinter before, they were that sharp. But now, with our coating, the workbench looks solid and professional. I don't know if it's suitable for food use, like cutting something edible on it. I don't think so. But as protection for an outdoor table, outdoor surface, or workbench, it's just perfect. I brought all the test samples outside. Here we have the solvent, a transparent, dense film, and acetone, which turned out more matte. Let's test how they behave with water. I believe they definitely have water-repellent properties. As we can see, the water just ran off. In the areas that weren't treated, it's absorbed, of course, but here, it's not. So what about strength? Look, you need quite a bit of force to scrape down to the block. Well, I mean, of course, it's not some kind of perfect protection, but getting through to the block is hard. And what about the solvent? How does acetone perform? Well, acetone is worse. You see, it peels off together with the foam block. So, on porous surfaces, acetone performs worse. It peels off more easily. But as you can see, the thinner performed very well. The next block was also painted with our homemade paint. Let's test it right on the table. As you can see, nothing is being absorbed. The curbstone was also coated. I think we can safely pour water on it as well. Yes, and just like before, the water runs off, nothing is being absorbed. So, it definitely has protective water-repellent properties. But the most interesting part is the OSB. I'm doing it right on the table because I'm not afraid it'll get wet now. I just wipe it off, and that's it. So even the OSB, although it's moisture resistant by nature, you can see the water still rolls off. Now let's see what happened with the metal. The metal was coated. Well, sure, it gets scratched, but as a protective layer, it can be used as one. There are some minor scratches, of course. Friends, I hope this video was at least somewhat useful or interesting to someone. That's the kind of experimental video we had today. I also managed to fix and restore my workbench. I want to say a huge thank you for watching and supporting me. Please be sure to leave your opinion. I try to reply to all comments on the first day. Later I get lost in them, sorry. But on the first day I respond to as many as I can. So once again, thank you so much. I wish you strong health, all the best, and everything good in life. Don't forget to leave a comment and give a like. That's all from me. See you next time. Bye-bye. Hey friends, today we're making a super strong glue together. I've poured 2 tablespoons of regular drinking water into this jar. Now let's heat it up using a heat gun. We take regular 70% vinegar and add 1 tablespoon of it. We mix it and add 10 grams of gelatin. That's 1 full packet. Then we mix it thoroughly again. Then we take regular simple glycerin and add half a tablespoon. We mix everything thoroughly until it becomes a smooth, uniform mass. Let's test this glue now and see what it's capable of. Is it really as good as it sounds? We take some wood. And press the pieces together. Then I clamp them tightly using a vise. We also take some plexiglass and glue the pieces together. Let's try sandpaper as well. We need to wait a bit for it to bond. We're gluing fabric to fabric since one side is cloth covered. And we leave it just like that, without clamping it with a vise. This glue can be stored tightly sealed. As you can see, it turns transparent once it's well mixed. It's still steaming a little but can be stored in a sealed container. I decided to clamp the sandpaper too. Let's keep it fair for all tests. And we leave it like this to dry. Let's wait for about an hour. The glue got on my fingers too. It's not quite like store-bought glue, but still sticks pretty well. This glue is almost completely transparent. Alright friends, it's been a little over an hour. Let's see how it turned out. The glue solidifies like this, but if you want to use it again, just heat it a little and store it in a sealed container. Let's see what we've got here. It holds really well when pulled. It separates like this, but the glue holds strong. The fabric itself tears apart. Now let's try it on wood. Wow, it really holds tight. As you can see, it's quite impressive. Wow, I didn't expect it to work so well. Honestly, I didn't expect it to glue this well. Look how it came apart. This glue turned out to be a real super glue. Friends, this was a short video. To my surprise, the glue turned out to be very strong. Honestly, I didn't expect it, but I'm really satisfied with the result. Thanks for watching. Come back. The glue's not over yet. Friends, hello to everyone. Today we'll work with polystyrene remnants. We all love these kinds of videos, so let's watch. Enjoy the video, let's go. For our video, we'll need a lot of polystyrene. Let's take some and cut it into pieces. I think that should be enough. What a sound. Now let's take a plastic cup, just one. We pour the liquid into the cup. Friends, we are melting the polystyrene. Look, the reaction is happening. I don't know why some people say it doesn't melt. Maybe your material is fake because look how well this one melts. A strong reaction is going on. But still, not everything dissolves. It dissolves well in acetone. Now I'll pour much less acetone. Just a little bit, see? We're using 2 chunks now, and the reaction is much faster. We're fitting 2 chunks. Look, it dissolves with great speed. The only thing is, acetone makes a sticky substance. It becomes more of a glue. Here, on the other hand, the mixture is more liquid. Actually fully liquid. We can use it like paint. I'll add 2 more pieces to make a uniform mass. Polymer glue. We set the glue aside. I took a regular spray paint, metallic, and sprayed a couple of times. Then we mix it. Now we have this kind of liquid. Look at that, beautiful. I took a spray gun and poured our liquid into it, leaving a little behind. Wow, it looks so beautiful. Oh, nice. As you can see, I have a concrete floor. Let's try painting a square. I connected the compressor and the same liquid is inside. Now let's see how the mixture of xylene and polystyrene works on concrete. Well, it does paint. See the difference? Let's also try applying it with a brush, although that takes much longer. Still, you can use a brush too. Once it dries, we'll check the effect on the concrete surface. Let's leave it like this. As you can see, I still have some paint left. We can experiment more. Let's try covering cardboard. Here's what happens. It creates a sort of web in the air when sprayed, so definitely wear a mask while working. Let's leave this to dry as well. We'll also remove the rest of the cup and cardboard and get a piece of wood. Let's try coating a wooden surface. Let's leave that one too, of course. Now let's test our glue. Let's try to stick some cardboard, doing it all in real time. It's a bit inconvenient. There's nothing proper to use. Let's drop a bit like this. Then we'll check the results. By the way, xylene dries very fast on concrete. While we were experimenting, it already dried. Cardboard is also dry. The wood, no, not yet. You can still see that it's not fully dry. So let's leave it and wait for it all to dry completely. So friends, 24 hours have passed. Let's see how the glue performed. Here's cardboard. Look, I'm tearing it right in front of your eyes. It holds really well. It's the paper that tears off. I think it won't let air out. You can see the crust on top. It won't allow oxygen through. And this liquid plastic glue inside stays soft. Now let's check the wooden pieces. I specifically prepared a brake line. I don't know. What do you think? Can it be stored or not? Write your opinion. I hope the video was interesting and useful to you. Let's clamp it down and see. Thumbs up, leave a comment, and see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey friends, once again we're experimenting with leftover styrofoam. Just look at this pile. What kind of glue is this? It tears along the wood grain. Look at that. Now let's test it with water. The water simply beads off. Even a small application protects very well. On concrete, it absorbs right away. But here, it forms a boundary. The water pools up. What about the cardboard? Look, guys, the cardboard is protected. It doesn't absorb anything. Where untreated, it absorbed everything. See? You can wipe it now. The cardboard is dry. And what can I say about the wood? Same thing. Water rolls right off. This is the kind of protection this treatment gives. Whether wood or concrete, it's just super, friends. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, or don't. But do. Got an idea? Drop it below. I read some comments. See you next time. Hello everyone. Today I'm working with glue gun sticks. Of course, we'll experiment a bit. Let's see what happens. Let's get started. I spent just 40 rubles on this. It's a super cheap DIY project. Let's take the glue stick and cut out a butterfly shape using metal. I've got 3 glue sticks. I'll leave one aside for now. We're going to heat this up. I'll use a heat gun for that. It's starting to melt well. Everything's almost liquefied. I'll add a bit more. I melted 3 of them. I was going to use regular baking soda but couldn't find it, so I'm using this Pemolac soda instead. This one also contains 30% ground marble, 0.5% atmospheric additives, baking soda, dyes, and fragrances. It should work just fine too. I just eyeball the amount and pour the contents in. Now I quickly stir it. It hardens very fast. But you can warm it from below while it's still soft enough to mix. We'll mix it a bit more. It turns into a thick substance. Keep stirring until it becomes a uniform mass. Off camera, I made a handle-like shape because I needed to replace the broken one from a brush. The old one kept falling off, so I decided to make a new one. That's what I did here. Now I'm spraying the tip with a bit of release agent. Maybe this isn't the best method, especially with wood, but it came to mind and I decided to try it. We're experimenting after all. Let's test it again. And while it's still hot, I begin pouring it into our mold. If needed, we can always reheat it again later. We place our handle into the mold. I like how it feels in the hand. Let's just leave it to dry like this. Later we'll pop this disc out, cut it open, and see what the structure looks like. Let it dry now. I added a bit more soda, and now I'll try to make a handle for a small file. I'll support it with a makeshift mold. We'll let it set, then process it and see what we got. So, this batch had a smaller portion of the mixture. I added a bit more soda here. You can even see the difference in shade. It's slightly darker and more vivid at first glance. It's clearly a completely different plastic than before. The cut surface is slightly porous. It's cured and hardened now, of course. Its structure has changed a bit. When I press on it, it holds firmly. Without water, it became denser and much stronger. When bent, it doesn't break. So, here's the handle. Let's try processing it a bit. The shape came out as a neat little circle. The handle feels solid and comfortable to hold. Of course, under high heat it will melt, since it's thermoplastic, but it definitely won't melt in your hand during use. It's still warm right now, though. It's a bit crooked, of course. Needs some trimming and sanding. I'll clean it up a bit now on the grinder. So in the end, this is the handle I got. Yes, there are some small pores, but they don't go all the way through and not everywhere. The handle isn't slippery, it feels good in the hand. It fits naturally. Definitely a usable option. Friends, this was a short little video. I hope it was helpful. As a quick solution, I think it's simple and effective. You don't need any special tools for this. I believe most of you already have a glue gun at home. The internet is full of ideas like this. You can even heat it up with a gas burner if needed. So I hope you liked the video. Be sure to leave a like. Even if you didn't, still leave a like and share your thoughts. I wish you all strong health and all the very best. I'll leave all useful links in the description below, so go check them out. That's it for today. Goodbye.
On the large piece, which is 50 by 50, I marked the center and made a small cut for that. Later I will cut it. Now we take our piece, 460 by 500, and cut back 20 millimeters from each corner.
Friends, we have ended up with an excellent portable grill that assembles and disassembles quickly, which you can always take with you for fishing, hunting, or an outdoor picnic. The only thing left to do is to buy skewers,
Thanks for watching, like and subscribe. See you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, see you soon. Thanks, more coming soon. Stay tuned. Watch it, like, and subscribe now.
I collected it in a bag and didn't throw it away. I want to experiment and show you the results. Today we'll work with different solvents, acetone, xylene, and in the end we'll paint a table. So let's go. To begin, we'll do a small experiment. What actually dissolves polystyrene and what doesn't. I have a few solvents. Technical acetone, regular acetone, xylene, and solvent. 646. We'll pour a little into separate containers. Some xylene, a bit of regular solvent, acetone, and technical acetone. Let's start with the xylene. Even with small pieces, there's a reaction. It melts everything. Just a small piece again. Now the regular solvent. The reaction is stronger and faster. It says on the label that it's only regular acetone is used to thin nitrovarnish, nitropaints, and nitroamides, also for thinning paint. But as you can see, there is a difference. Let's set this acetone aside. Clearly, it's useless for us. Now let's prepare our three printers. I've made three small rectangular pieces, all about the same size. We'll test which one works the fastest. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. We shall print it and watch which dissolves quicker. by hand and ended up with a few uneven spots. The reason we did this was so it wouldn't sit outside exposed and instead be used just as a workbench. Now look at what happens with water. As you can see, the water rolls off. You can clearly see it. The water immediately rolls off and drains away. Meaning the table is now protected from moisture. So for wood, this protective coating is very effective. The water stays on the surface and doesn't get absorbed. It simply rolls off. They were hard to sand properly because the wood fibers point in different directions. You could even get a splinter before. They were that sharp. I don't know if it's... Hello everyone and welcome! In this video we're starting the first part of a two-part series all about transferring printed images onto wood. Whether it's a photo or a drawing, black and white or color, you'll see how to bring those images to life on a wooden surface. What makes this process exciting is that it works with both laser and inkjet printers, meaning you can try it at home with whatever printer you have. Across this series we'll explore 9 different transfer techniques. In this first part, we're focusing on 4 fast and easy methods that give surprisingly good results if done with care. None of them offer perfect quality, but the speed and simplicity make them great for beginners or quick DIY projects. Let's jump in and discover how to turn simple prints into beautiful wooden art. Method 1. For this method, we will need acetone. First, an important note that applies to all the technical methods I'll show. Most laser printers have toner saving mode enabled by default. If you turn it off, your prints will be darker and the results much better. If you've never used this function, try looking for it in your printer settings. As you can see, nothing is being absorbed. The curbstone was also coated. I think we can safely pour water on it as well. Yes. We take a black and white image printed on plain paper using a regular laser printer. And here's another important note. Before printing, the image must be mirrored. In my previous video, I said it must be flipped horizontally. But in reality, it doesn't matter. It can be flipped horizontally or vertically. The point is to mirror it. Otherwise, the transferred image will come out reversed. Place the image face down on the wood and fix it in place, at least on one side, using painter's tape. Apply acetone over the entire printed area. And of course, remember safety precautions. If you're working indoors, make sure the room is well ventilated. Even so, I highly recommend wearing a respirator, preferably like this one. Or better yet, work outdoors if possible. Then take a firm elastic material. A kid's playmat works great. And press it over the paper. Press down firmly every centimeter, covering the whole image area. If you find a more convenient or effective way to press, feel free to share in the comments. Acetone evaporates quickly, so during the process you might need to refresh it once or twice. Even though I was very thorough, it still only took about 5 minutes. Despite being a fast method, it gives quite a good result. Some toner stays on the paper. But this is compensated by turning off the toner saving mode. So the final image is pretty contrasty. You can absolutely use this method for transferring simple outlines and similar work. So many comments said, you can just iron the image on. It's much easier. By the way, here's another important note. In all the examples you'll see, I'm using sanded and dust-free plywood. The cleaner and smoother the surface, the better the transfer result. Technical methods like this are very sensitive to surface quality. If you can't properly dust the surface, at least use a brush to clean it well. Just like in the first method, we place the image face down and fix it with painter's tape. Since wood and paper can warp from heat, I suggest taping the long edge, which helps reduce distortion. The toner melts at around 180 degrees. But I don't know which temperature setting that corresponds to. I just set the iron to maximum, and that works fine. Start by heating the entire paper well, especially around the taped area. Move the iron from the taped edge outward. The tricky part is that the iron doesn't press flatly onto the wood surface. So I alternate between heating the area and pressing down. First, I glide the flat surface of the iron over the paper to keep the toner melted. Then I tilt the iron slightly and use its rounded edge to press the toner into the wood. This creates high pressure on a small spot. However, each pass only presses a narrow strip, so you must keep moving across the whole image. Since you can't see the results immediately, it's best to go over each area multiple times just in case. After a few minutes, the toner may have stuck to the wood so well that the paper tears when removed. That's not too hard to deal with, but the real issue is that the results are uneven. Some areas transfer well, others not so much. Still, this is a viable technical method. Even if the transfer isn't perfect, the outlines are visible. And you don't need to use acetone. And if you take your time and press more thoroughly, you can achieve better quality. Alright friends, in this video I showed you two simple yet practical image transfer methods using acetone and an iron. But that's just the beginning. There are 3 more techniques coming up, some even easier and some with nearly professional results. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss part 2. Feel free to leave your thoughts or questions in the comments. See you soon!
soft enough to